All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders, which rule great millstone while, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abba babal. Alright, so I saw this article. It's from Fedor's Travel. It says numerous countries have issued travel warnings for the United States. This was published May 2nd, 2023. Now I'm going to jump down to the point. It says, however, as Travel Nori highlighted last week, several other countries have told their citizens that the United States is a destination where increased caution is necessary, primarily citing high crime and firearm violence as top concerns. The United Kingdom's Home Office warns Britons that safety concerns in the United States include terrorist attacks, car and street crime, and protests that can turn violent. New Zealand has issued similar warnings for its citizens and also notes that there is a high incidence of violent crime and firearm possession than in New Zealand, but tempers that with crime rates vary considerably across cities and suburbs, and incidents rarely involve tourists. All right, so other countries are warning their citizens either not to travel here to the United States or to be cautious because of the violence. All right, and this is biblical prophecy taking place. All right, which 2023 is the year that we pray and hope that all the prophecies come to pass in Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahweh Shai. All right, at 14, verse 10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, and this is dealing with America. It says in verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. All right, the Israelites, because we're enslaved, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery, but the most of Jake is in America in slavery, subject to payment. So the Lord's going to give us rest from sorrow and from fear, from the hard bondage, from the slavery wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb, which we're prophesying, against the king of Babylon, talking about the elite of the so-called white race, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? All right, so what's happening to America? America is coming to an end. Here it is. It's called the Retail Apocalypse. All right, this article came out in let's see, 9 hours ago. A retail apocalypse is coming, predicts analysts, as 94,000 stores could close across the U.S. All right. All right. So America is coming to an end. It says in verse 4 of Isaiah 14 that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? And this is the Lord doing this, Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. All right, they're ending America. They're ending the age of the so-called white supremacy. All right, and they're going to end Esau entirely. It says that in Isaiah 14, verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his sons, for the Edomites today in this generation, and we're preparing them for slaughter by warning them of what the Bible says, of their judgment, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. So the Lord is going to destroy America and all the Edomites that dwell here, including 2/3 of the nation of Israel, for their rebelliousness, for their disobedience, for the rejection of the truth. All right, and the heathen are also that are here going to die. All right, but it tells you in the scripture in Isaiah 13 that they're going to go back to their own people. Okay, it says in verse 14, Isaiah 13 verse 14, and it shall come, and it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee, every one into his own land, because it's cheaper and more sufficient to be back in their own country making money, because they see that we are at the end of the age of the so-called white supremacy. All right, so right now everything's in a inflation. All right, everything is being devalued by the dollar. All right, because the dollar, which was the money of the world, the pretty much the reserve currency was the dollar. So the dollar, being the world's currency, all right, is dying. So now everybody's going to flee from America, flee from their dollar, all right, flee from their customs, all right, and that's what we're seeing. And this Edomite eventually will be no longer, all right. He's going to be made extinct. It says, verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So everyone that's here in this land America is going to go through Jacob's trouble, all right, which is going to be a horrible time for Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right, after they make that MOTB, the implantable microchip, mandatory for buying and selling. Nuclear destruction of America. America will be turned into a lake of fire by nuclear missiles. All right. It says in Isaiah 14 verse, was that 22? For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. And I'm going to go into it because I've been doing the history on Babylon and seeing the characteristics of America and Babylon. And I'm hoping to do another sit down on that to edify why, the Lord calls America Babylon. All right, because it actually took its ways from Egypt, from Babylon, all right, from Sodom. All right. So the Lord has called America all these different names, signaling that they act in this way of the heathen, all right? It says in verse 23, I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. So this ain't talking about ancient Babylon. This is talking about modern Babylon, America, which practices the witchcraft of ancient Babylon. All right, this ain't